What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the big news, man. Draymond Green wants a big contract. He wants the max. Will the Warriors give it to him? Let's talk about it. So, this is a tough one to do, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. As we all know, as NBA fans, especially from this big three, Clay, Steph, and Draymond. Draymond will be the one to definitely go first. That's not really a shocker. That's not really news. But to him to really put this out, or his camp put this out, say, hey, I want a max, or I'm gonna find some other options. After winning a title, him. And the thing is, his play wasn't great, and it never really is. No, well, I take it back. His play wasn't great for most of the series, right? Um, but you don't really watch him on the scoreboard. But that don't mean his play wasn't great. He plays well all the time normally. But when your play stands out, for being bad, and then your voice stands out for just talking, on your podcast, there was a very big subject this whole NBA playoff run, especially during the finals. Would he do the podcast in the finals? And he definitely did. I'm subscribed to the volume. I like their content. Uh, you know, I was definitely tuned into his show a lot more during the games. Now the season has been finished. I haven't watched the podcast since. I don't really have an interest now, but during games it was interesting, it was new, it was cool. Now I'm kind of cool on it. But in that same token, you hear reports coming out that teams listen to the podcast. His team, his opposing teams, all listen to the podcast. I think that could play a factor in him getting the max contract. First age, but also his new career. He signed a deal with TNT as a media personality. He got the podcast with the volume. I just think he's doing too much, and not on his sake, but on the team's sake. He's the first ever guy I believe that's gonna be doing stuff like this. And normally when you're the first guy doing things that's not the norm, you get arrows, you get the punches, you get all the brunt first. And then when the guys come behind you, do it during the season full time, you know, then they're gonna be praised down the line, and you'll be praised as a guy who ushered the whole process in. But at first, you're gonna get the bruises and all that stuff, the punches, the the attacks and stuff. So I think Dre will get that from this podcast slash TNT deal, and I definitely think the Warriors will move on for him, and not just because off the court stuff, on the court stuff too. As I said, Dre played bad in the NBA Finals. It was a six game series. He played bad 4 out of 6 games. And had some terrible moments and terrible games there. He's 32 years old. His impact is waning less and less on the game as the years go on. And also you have young guys. This is NBA. This is a young man's league. This is professional sports. You have guys like Jordan Poole. You have guys like not Andre Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins. You have guys up and coming like a James Wiseman, like a Jonathan Kuminga, like a Moses Moody. You don't draft those guys and don't trade them for no reason. You know, you brought in Kevon Looney, who I believe to a certain degree can do what Draymond does do. Not the same extent, definitely not, because Draymond is a 101. I do respect that from him. Don't get that twisted. But Looney, you know, you know how it is on careers and on jobs. If you learn behind someone, you can jobs do trust you if they get rid of them to do what they can do. You know what I'm saying? And I think Looney was signed long term because I had Looney leaving. Honestly, I had him going with Mike Brown to the Kings. It didn't happen, but you know, Looney has been under Draymond so long now. I think Looney, if inserted into that role, and Wiseman steps up, takes over for the 5 spot, Looney steps up, takes over for Draymond if need be, I think it'll work out. But it depends on two things. As I said, it depends on Wiseman and it depends on Looney. If he's comfortable, I think he would be. You know, they did sign him to a long-term deal, so he better be comfortable. And if Wiseman steps up, if Wiseman can step up, show some show some of his worth, show some consistency, show some health for most of the year, I think Draymond could be in trouble. You know, and um, it'll be sad to see because he's the main one. He's the vocal one. He's the leader verbally, you know, for that squad. But I think they could do it without Draymond. I see some people saying they can't. I don't get that. His defense isn't what it was. It's still good though, because at certain moments he did lock up Brown. He did lock up Tatum when they did try to drive into the paint. Quick hands, quick feet. That is still he's still good there. He's not great like he used to be, but he's still good. But in the same token though, time time in the league moves on. You know, and just play on the court only. Just play style, you know, he's not as good as he was. He's not shooting as good. He's not scoring as often. You know, he's a great maestro of the ball. He's a great playmaker. He's a great floor general. But you can find other good big men who aren't great like him, but they're close enough to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Like a Kevon Looney. As I said, Kevon Looney is the piece to this. If Kevon Looney did not did not resign, I would say heck no, give Draymond the max because you need him. Now I don't think so. I think an older Draymond Green, 32 years old and still ticking, you know, time can keep going on. I'm not giving Draymond 4 or 5 years max. Heck no, for however many million, 100 plus, 180, 150, whatever number is. No, I'm not doing it. I gotta sign Poole. I gotta sign Kaminga. Hopefully, cause I hope these guys work out. I gotta sign Wiseman or because you shoot. But by the time that time happens, Kaminga, Wiseman, and Poole or Poole need the contract now. I think his extension date might be October 18th, if I'm not mistaken. But you have guys like Kaminga. If he pans out, you want to keep him. You know, if Wiseman pans out, you want to keep him. If Moody pans out, you might want to keep him. You know, they've been bred in this system. They've been birthed in this system from the get go. Clay's getting older. Steph's getting older. Dre's getting older. Why would you want to keep your old guys around so much longer and let the new influx of talent you just drafted leave? That makes no sense. You want to plan for the future as best as possible, and tough moves like this is what it's all about. You know, and Draymond's a key inaugural piece to this move. He was very, very important to the team back in their first title run, prior to KD and during KD. Now he's still important. Don't get me wrong. The role is still there, but I think it's not important as it once was because his role now, as he said himself, is to mentor these young guys. Get get them in that winning mindset. Get them in that winning mode. They just won last year. Now let's show you guys how to repeat. You know, or try to repeat again that mindset of repeating because we've done it before. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely think um, you know, when contract time does come, the Warriors will say, "Hey, we got Looney." You know, if everything work out the right way, hey, Wiseman's gonna be good now. He's shown flashes. We're gonna sign him to a nice deal to retain his services in another year or two. We want to keep Wiggins. We want to keep Kaminga long term. We want to keep Moody. He's a good young piece as well. I don't see them giving Draymond a long term deal. I don't see it. I don't see. Oops, my voice leaving me. I don't see it, man. So I like Draymond, you know, but I think a new home might be incoming for him. I think it'll be coming soon. So probably next off season we might see Draymond, you know, uh, go somewhere else. Go to LA, go to Boston. I wouldn't mind seeing Draymond in Boston. He would fit perfectly there. He'd be a KG type of guy, fiery, make the right plays. He got two young stars, if he's still there, Brown and Tatum. So that move does make sense to me personally. So we'll see what happens, man. How everything folds out, but Draymond could be on the move pretty soon. But that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.